Merry Christmas, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Adonis Social Club massacre that happened basically 100 years ago to the day, Christmas Day 1925, involving Richard Pegleg Lonergan, whose life was cut short at the ripe young age of 25. Now, Richard Pegleg Lonergan, we made a video on him, but a brief overview. He was the leader of the White Hand Gang, who were bitter rivals of the Italians and were fighting over the control of the Brooklyn docks at this time. He took over in 1923 after the murder of his brother-in-law, Wild Bill Lovett. Pegleg lost his right leg in a trolley accident as a child, and that's how he got his name, Pegleg. And he was very anti-Italian, and unfortunately, he was a degenerate drunk. That's not a good recipe when you're living a life where people are trying to kill you. Now let's get to the night in question. The evening of December 25th, 1925, the Adonis Social Club, a speakeasy and a cabaret located in a two-story building at 154 20th Street. They had an all-day Christmas party. The club itself was Italian-controlled and co-owned by Frankie Yale's associates. They featured dancing, drinking, jazz music, piano players, all live, obviously. Now, even though a lot of the gangsters hated each other, that did not stop them from messing around with their women. Italians and Irish, both ways, man, woman, woman, man, they mingled. They dated and married and had kids, the whole nine. Let's fast forward into the late evening. We're crossing into December 26th. Al Capone arrives at the club after spending most of the Christmas evening with his family. He was there with some of Frankie Yale's men, anticipating that there might be trouble in the near future. Frankie Yale had received a tip that Lonergan had planned to come to this establishment to throw his weight around, so to speak. And a little after midnight, Pegleg and about 5 of his associates do indeed crash the Italian establishment, looking to ruffle feathers and have fun while doing it. They came in drunk, unruly, starting trouble, hurling ethnic slurs to the Italians like wops and dagos, which you don't really hear nowadays, but back then, that was basically the Italian N-word, to put it bluntly. And obviously, you're saying this to men that live the same dangerous lifestyle as you. They are not backing down, and tensions only rose, especially after 3 Italian men walked in with 3 Irish women as their dates. Lonergan allegedly yelled at them to come back to the white man, for Christ's sake, because back then Italians were not looked at as white people. And to be quite honest, Irish weren't really looked at as white people to English people, but that's a whole nother story. Now, after tensions are rising, blood is boiling, around 3 a.m. on December 26th, the lights conveniently cut off and gunfire erupts immediately in the darkness. Patrons start screaming, scrambling, trying to protect themselves by turning over tables and chairs and hiding behind them until the gunshots stop. Lonergan and 2 of his men were hit multiple times. Lonergan died instantly, bullets to the brain, lungs, heart, and a toothpick still in his mouth. Hit so quick he wasn't even able to draw his .38 caliber pistol. So obviously this lights cutting out situation was pre-planned. They knew where their targets were and let loose as soon as the lights went off. Patrolman Richard Morano, during a patrol around 3:30, found Aaron Abe Harms, one of Lonergan's associates, body on the sidewalk where there was a blood trail to the front door of the club, finding Lonergan and Cornelius Ferry dead at the scene. No witnesses cooperated. 7 to 10 suspects were arrested, including Al Capone, who said he was there acting as a doorman, and a couple other associates linked to Frankie Yale. They were released on bail, and the charges were dropped due to a lack of evidence. Allegedly, Capone was there shooting with the rest of them, which I totally believe, because he was a very hands-on kind of boss, especially early on. But yeah, it was an absolute massacre. Unfortunately, Christmas did not bring Pegleg and his buddies any gifts that they could appreciate.